Hey, I'm Stephen Nelson. I'm one of the crane instructors here at SAIT. We're here at the Trotter campus. We're having an incredible day for you today. We're actually getting a donated tank car for our rail program that we're offloading. We also have Vertical Crane on site here today. They've donated their time to us to get this tank car back on the tracks to get it ready for our students. It's absolutely fantastic.
Big shout out to Border Chemical who donated this tank car to SAIT to start, and then everything else came together from there.
Today we're going to be doing a tandem lift for a rail car that just got donated by Caltrax. This new rail car is going to be for the rail program. We're going to be putting it on the tracks with a tandem lift, and we got donated with lifting with vertical crane. We have a 50-ton and a 80-ton Tornado. Today what we're going to do is we're going to start getting these trucks in, start lifting them off, going to send them on the rails. We have the students right now helping out with the rigging, give them some hands-on training so that way we make sure, you know, they get the contact and the material that we're going to be teaching them in class. The biggest thing here is collaboration, showing the teamwork, showing what these cranes can and cannot do. Some of these students have never seen these cranes before, and it gives them the opportunity to get their hands on these cranes and get some of the experience just in case they see this in the industry. Crane, they're set up to start rigging up to the rail car. We're going to use this 50-ton to set all these trucks in the spot. There's going to be a direction for these trucks, then they're going to have to talk about this as well. This is the rail car that's going to be going in. We got some, it's half SAIT, half Caltrax. So their slogan on that truck is going to be, on that train is going to be trained for the future. This unit's going to come in at about 48,000 pounds. Each crane will be taking about half of that weight, depending on the share of the load, but it's a pretty equal load for the most part. We got train guys here, we got trucking, we got the crane guys, whole group. This is what we see in the industry. This is what we see in the taxi life. This kind of collaboration on site, there's a ton of moving parts all the time. What we need to really focus on is, this is a critical lift. A tandem lift is a critical lift, and this is our focal point when we're teaching in our classrooms. And we're starting to see this happening in other classrooms like pipe fitters, iron workers, welders. All these people are talking about the critical lifts, and we need to make sure that we have this as example. So this is why we're videotaping this today.
I want to go have a look at it. Keep seeing
Sweet.
pictures.
How did we get this?
Interactions and close relationships with industry. Caltrax. So Trevor Hammer sits on our program advisory committee, and he was talking to our faculty, asked them if they wanted one of these, and they happened to have one come in. It was going to be demoed, and he literally worked with Border Chemical, Sherwin, North Star, Transtech, and Vertical, of course, to arrange everything. It was
And they
a
donated
whole lot
the
of
paint
different
job.
industries. Yeah, everything.
They donated the paint job. It's beautiful.
So there literally tens and tens of people that were involved. They had to restore it to a certain point.
Right.
They redid the welds, make it safe so that it's safe for SAIT. Paint it. Sherwin-Williams donated the paint. Caltrax maintenance team, they went through and redid all the welds. They did the trucks, getting everything back into shape, and yeah, everything was just crazy how industry came together for this.
Now our students are getting a bigger train car. We're also, obviously, it looks brand new. What's the advantages for our students here at Point Trotter?
Well, there are idiosyncrasies. Now we have the four basic styles. We got a tanker car, we got a flat deck, we got a box car, and a hopper. So they're all relevant. They all serve their own purpose. They're all differences for the program. The students can now experience pretty much any kind of car they have on the tracks.
Cool.
This is a specialty car, right?
This is awesome.
And also this one is nice and brand new and painted. Now we have to get the other ones pretty too.
Yeah, we can't have that happen.
Yeah.
What do you think about Vertical Crane doing the lifts?
I think it's awesome. I mean, it's crazy.
Donating their time?
Yeah. We did the math on it. This is, and we haven't been charged a dime. SAIT hasn't been charged a penny for any of this. Probably $100,000 gifting, donation for our program.
It's crazy.
Between the permits to haul it across the city, the paint, the repairs on the tanker itself, Border Chemicals donation of the tanker itself. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. I don't even know how many people were involved, probably 30, 40 people at least, all told, right?
Wow.
So
This is our offsite campus, so it gives us a bit of, because we have the highway right behind us, and hopefully we can see from the highway, you know, the big SAIT logo. This is going to be our big prize in the yard for sure.
Yeah.
What do you think about vertical crane, letting the students get in and around the cranes and rig up and stuff like that?
Well, just like tours, just like when we do tours, right?
Yeah.
Any kind of experience we can offer our students is a bonus. It gives them a taste of the real world before, well, these are apprentices, so a lot of them have already had a taste, but I mean, it immerses our students into the real world experience.
Yeah.
It gives validation to the program.
Yeah.
So,
and this is our major lift. This is what we teach. This is literally throughout the whole intake. This is what we focus on, and this is what they get tested on at the end of the intake.
well, and here's the thing is our job as educators is to prepare our students to have successful careers. In order to do that, we have to have ties to industry, because how do we make our students trained with the skills that industry needs if we don't have a good relationship with industry? You have to have all three participating equally.
100%.
It's a very symbiotic relationship.
100%.
It's awesome. It's crazy.
So the initiative, Caltrax reached out first, or did our instructors reach out?
It came about as a conversation during a program advisory committee meeting.
Right.
And then eventually Caltrax, they had a napkin conversation between leadership within their community, and then they phoned us and followed up, and it just, and Trevor Hammer with Caltrax was the primary organizer, orchestrator. He called in all of his contacts, and I just kind of hung on to the horse and went for a ride.
Just went for the ride.
Yeah.
Sweet.
No, it's pretty impressive. It's crazy, and the people that, even within the rail industry, I mean, they know the guys from Vertical, who knows the guys, you know, from all the different North Star. They know each other, right? They work together all the time on different projects. So
it's funny because we have two students that works for Vertical, so they're here doing their third year and they're getting their ticket at the end of this intake. Great students.
it's awesome.
It's awesome because we're seeing that relationship even expand, and they talk highly of Vertical. They talk highly of how this crane company is very professional, and it shows.
My name is Mike. I'm one of the crane instructors here at SAIT, and today we're unloading some new train rail, and yeah, come on, check out some of these pieces. Yeah, as they're starting to set some of these train wheels onto the tracks, you can see everybody's getting their hands on it and helping out, but keeping safe at the same time. You can see there's one signal person right now, but 4 helpers. Everybody's got their own job. First one set in place, and they're going to do a measurement to see how far away the next one needs to be. Set them onto their proper spot so that the car can sit on top afterwards. That's Matt there with the flashlight on his white hard hat. He's one of the owners of Vertical Crane. They've actually been generous enough to donate the cranes and their time and the operators to come and assist with this new train car unloading. Very generous of them to help us out like that.
So you're seeing the SAIT car being delivered to the Point Trotter location, where a bunch of collaborators in the industry have come together to donate this car to the students. So they're going to have a real world piece of moving equipment, modern piece of equipment that they can, you know, learn to get on and off of moving equipment with. And so you're seeing the collaboration of Caltrax, Sherwin-Williams, Vertical Crane, Transtech Decals, North Star Contracting, and obviously SAIT. So what an amazing initiative and project to bring the industry together and really show that, you know, we want to bring more and more people into this industry and grow the industry, and no better way than this.
All around here, you see a lot of people. There's a lot happening, right? We have some people from Caltrax, some people from North Star. North Star's the transportation company. Caltrax are the ones that did the donation. We have our crane students all around here on the ground here, as well as this one gentleman in the white hard hat in the far end there, a former crane student who now works for Vertical Crane. Everybody here has been involved in the plan to some capacity. This very morning, we actually use this as a training opportunity to have the students make a lift plan for this job, for this offload. It's always a wonderful thing when we get to have a real world application to take our training to the next level. Super excited for these students today. Right now, we're just getting the trucks, the wheels essentially, that are on the rail car, situated and positioned so that when we actually get the car itself offloaded, we can just drop it straight on top, right? And this is the lovely part they get to see. When you put together a plan, when you actually set yourself up for success, how smoothly these jobs can go. And as you look around today, you can see how many people we have on site, and with that many people watching, you want things to go smooth, right? You can see right now, we got people kind of standing out of the way. On the side over here, we got people rigging up. Everybody has a job on site. If your job isn't actually happening, you just stand back, right? Everybody wants to stay safe, right? This gentleman right here, he's one of our instructors in the rail program with the blue hard hat. He's one of the ones that helped get this all involved as well. One of the ones that put this all together. It's absolutely fantastic. Little fun.
What kind of weight are we talking with that thing?
So these trucks, they'll often come anywhere from 6,000 to 10,000 pounds as a full unit. And they pose some interesting challenges. So right now you can see that they're actually rigged to the wheel axles themselves. And if we come down over here, you can see there's nothing that actually holds that up. Some of them will have a little locking clip here that'll help you stay in place, but right now that doesn't exist. So if we tried to lift the frame, those axles honestly just fall straight out. Same with when you get to the top here. You see this cool little pin right here, as well as this little wheel? That's all train cars sit on. It gives them lots of range of motion, lots of pivoting. But just keep in mind, when you see a train going down the track, those train cars are strictly being held on by their own weight, just their gravity. That's all that holds them together. And being able to see this up front is an absolutely fantastic opportunity. Now you can see how the crane operator is, rightly so, coming in nice and slow. We got lots of hands on it. Also notice that all of them are keeping their feet back, right? You don't put any part of your body underneath the load that you don't have to.
Hi there, I'm Sean Halushak and I'm one of the crane operator instructors here at Point Trotter, and today we're doing a tandem lift. This is pretty exciting. Our students got to estimate the weight of this train car, and as you can see behind me, we're setting up for what's called a tandem lift. And so what a tandem lift is where the two cranes are going to be sharing the load of this this train car. So typically if you can lift this with one, but the problem with that is you'd need a lot bigger of a crane to be able to lift this amount of weight. And so what they're going to be using is the green bars up above are called spreader bars, and that's going to keep the attachment points vertical and at 90 degrees so you can get 100% capacity of the rigging. And then also it's going to protect that brand new paint job by Sherwin-Williams that was donated. So they're going to be using the 80-ton Tadano, which is the one that's hooked up right now. And then we're going to be using this 50-ton Manitex. These were both donated by Vertical Cranes to do this lift. So they're going to grab their own spreader bar, and then they're also going to pick this end. What's going to happen is they're going to lift the crane, lift the train car. They're going to rotate it, and they're going to do a pass-through. Very similar to what we do here at Point Trotter for their training. And they're going to do a pass-through and then rotate it again and put it down on those wheels.
So right now we're going to hook up the second crane. Like I said before, this is a tandem lift, so both cranes are going to try and stay under 75% capacity. The reason being is this is a critical lift. Once we get this up in the air, they're going to share the load. There's going to be so many different areas where if the crane operator on one end is not focusing or doing their job, it poses danger for the other crane operator. So we have double the impact. So when we pick up this car, one side will pick up one at a time, and then the other side will pick up another, and they'll level out the crane, and everything will look pretty good. And then they'll start sending it right through the pass. We do have a bigger crane on the far end. This crane is an 80-ton, so that's going to be probably the lead crane most likely. We'll have to see how they decided this. But look at the students being involved, getting in, putting their hands on this load and making sure that they get the experience. Right now they're putting in some softener so that way it doesn't rub on the paint, but otherwise it's nothing that we have to worry about for capacity. These specific cars usually don't have lifting points like this, so this is a luxury for us. And you notice how the bars at the top are a little bit wider as well. This gives us a little bit of a spread, so that way we're not putting that pressure on to the train car and just going directly to our lifting points. It's a really nice setup. We also have, if you notice right down the side, we're still chained on. So there's going to be a time where these cranes are going to take almost half of the weight, start balancing it, start getting things going, and then they'll release that chain so that way there's no hazard of it ever tipping over or falling while it's an uneven ground. So right now they're conducting a plan. We got signalers. Two of our students are going to be signaling, or one of our students is going to be signaling. No, we got two of them. So the one in the orange just strolled up and one in the red. Matt with Vertical has given us the opportunity to let our students signal this load in. Right now, looks like we're going to have our safety meeting. Critical for every job site to have this meeting and have this chat as a group and make sure we outline all the dangers and hazards that we're going to see.
Okay, so our plan will be is to tension each crane to 10,000 pounds each. We'll check all the rigging, make sure all the shackles are stood up, nothing's caught. We'll bring each crane up to 20,000 pounds, and then we'll let the truck drivers get the chains taken off. Once everybody's clear out of the way, we'll bring each end up a little bit more, maybe 25,000, and then we'll just bring this end up first to make sure we clear this valve here. We'll get everything, we'll bring both cranes up so we're higher than the dolly, and then we'll start our pass through. So Jake's probably best to lead the pass through, and we'll swing towards Terry's end, let Jake go around first, and then let Terry follow around the other end. There will be a point where it gets to kind of dead cranes. They'll both kind of want to stop, so Terry will have to push a bit at that point. We'll swing around so we're on the facing the tracks, and then we'll boom both cranes down so we're over top of the trucks. Let's bring it down so we're about a foot above each truck, and then we can come in a little closer, get things lined up, and go from there. Yeah. So we don't want to have anybody in there while we're higher than that foot off the trucks. So let's stay back. If you guys are on each end, I'll stand with one of you and just guide you through. Once we're clear of the truck, you guys can come in, put your chains away, and get out of the way. Any questions, any concerns, comments?
As far as bystanders, you want them just to strictly stay on this side?
Each end would be better, just out of fall path of crane. Safer place to stand. No tagline required, tandem lift. Capacities have been checked, paperwork's been filled out. Rigging, I've asked quite a few of you, rigging capacities here, so we've gone through that. Anything else, any questions? Thumbs up? Okay, let's do it.
We're about to start the lift. We had our safety meeting. Everything's code sure. Everybody knows their positions. We got Cody over here. He's going to start the signals for us. Run the plan that Matt had laid out. Right now, he's just checking to make sure all the cranes are within their center of gravities. Once we get the go ahead there, they're going to start unchaining this car at that 20 or 10,000 pound mark, I think. 10 or 20,000 pound mark. So right now what Cody's doing right now at the end, he's checking down all the way down the center of this rail car, making sure that we stay within that boom deflection. It's really important to make sure you give that operator the exact center of gravity so that way he knows where that boom deflection is going to go when he starts to do the lift. Okay, we're starting to rev up, starting to take some weight. You can start hearing the cranes doing their stuff, the crackling with the booms. So Matt here, he's making sure that Cody's doing what he's saying he's going to do, and double checking everything's going good, giving them some good pointers. Yeah, they got the go ahead. We have the weight, so we're going to start taking our rigging off. Okay, rigging's out of the way, people are out of the way. We're going to start lifting it up evenly until almost the weight is picked up between both cranes. And then you're going to notice one side's going to come up first, so that way they make sure that we keep everything stable. It's pretty important to keep that in mind when you're lifting with a tandem lift, that if you start with one crane at a time, things go a lot smoother. When you have both cranes lifting off at the exact same time, it tends to not work out the way you want it. So if we go around here and check out the front, the red side of it, we're going to see the red side come up first, and you can probably see underneath. Like what Matt pointed out, there's some material underneath that we got to keep an eye on, just over the axles. Okay, we'll stay on this corner so that we're out of the path of any incidents. Okay, you got a guy on each side, making sure everything's going good. You're going to start hearing some noises here where all the pressure's been on that lumber, pressure's been on the truck. It's a good indicator. Keep your ears open for sure, because you never know. If you hear some louder noises, it's time to start stepping back and check and see if there's any hazards kicking around. Okay, Cody's going to go back to the front, double check that everything's going good. Make sure all the boom deflections are within the center of gravity. They line it up for them. Looks like they're all double checking, make sure they got the correct weights. The crazy thing about this lift is this is quite popular. This is a lift that you do very often. It's a lot better system to have two cranes on a bigger lift like this, especially when it's long. Spaces are limited. Get a smaller crane in on one side, a smaller crane on the other, and you can work together. Okay, Ty's just checking lumber, make sure everything's going kosher. He's doing a good job making sure he's keeping an eye on those crane operators, keeping the center of that gravity. Okay, Usually when you see hands-on at the end of the material, they're just making sure that they're within their load charts, making sure that when things come up that it's not going to bounce around. They're also checking to see if it's lifting at the lifting point when they need it for their weight. Each crane's going to have a gross capacity to work off of, and it's limited to that radius. And they'll include their deductions within that gross capacity as well. So it's going to be the weight of the unit plus all their deductions, including up to their block and whatever stow jib deduction they might have for each crane as well. Okay, we already seen one side pick up, so now we're going to finalize our lift. Okay. Perfect. Both cranes should be in the free swing. You always want to keep these cranes in free swing so that way when one pushes one, everybody feels it. Nothing gets too out of hand. Okay, Cody's job now is to make sure we keep this level high enough to go over the dolly. We have to bypass this dolly just behind the strain car, so we're going to get that height. Okay, he's instructing both cranes to line up at the exact same time. Everything's looking pretty good. Definitely experienced operators. They're talking to each other just by their movements. You can tell that they're working together. One slows down just to catch up to the other one, and they're definitely fluid right now for sure. You'll notice in the cabs, they're not going to do much talking. They're just visually looking around, making sure everything's going good. And they're going to glance at each other all the time. You'll always notice that the operators tend to look at the other operators' movements, make sure that they're following through. Okay, we're at height now. Now we can start our bypass, our pass through the. We're going to take one crane and basically turn the vessel towards the center, so it's on a bit of an angle, and then the other crane's going to follow through right behind. You'll notice that this train car is a little bit too long for the area that they have in, so they're going to swing left right now, continually swinging left till one's ready to start booming up and bringing this through the pass. Okay, we're starting to get our angle here now. You notice one crane's not moving and the other crane is doing the task. He's setting himself up, making sure he's in line with through the pass. Okay, quick talk. Again, the 80 ton is doing most of the work right now. And the 50 ton is going to start doing the follow through. You're going to start seeing that 50 ton getting pulled through this. He should be in free swing. He's going to start pulling through. He's not going to be doing too much right now because he doesn't have to. We're starting to get through halfway through the lift. That 50 ton is starting to do a little bit more work here now. Everything's on an angle. They're going to get a little bit past center of rotation. It's going to get a little loud because this truck's a bit loud. So they're nearly through the pass-through right now. That 80 ton's doing most of the work. He's the lead crane. Usually the bigger crane is usually the lead crane for the most part, as I mentioned before. This 50 ton's now going to straighten out. And if you look at the lines are perfectly straight. They're doing their jobs perfectly right now. They're really setting an example for our students. This is exactly what we need to see in industry for sure. So they're going to get a little bit past. Once the 50 ton gets within that area, they'll swing back towards the trucks and start the landing of the rail car onto the trucks. So they already know their radiuses. They already know everything going on. They had a pre-plan, they had the pre-meeting. They know where they're going to be landing their stuff. So they're going to be using their LMI systems to guide themselves into that area. Obviously the signalers is going to give that, that notion as well, if they're even close or not. But if the math, our students laid it out for them, if the math is right, we should be pretty dead on. So both cranes are getting signaled to come down, start getting closer to the load. Again, we're doing it at the same time. One crane started the process, the other crane followed. Everything's looking good. So that 50 ton's gonna have to boom up a little bit, or the 80 ton might have to boom down a smidge just to straighten this out, make sure it's in line. And we got our signaler on the other side, just guiding them in. Making sure everybody's doing good. They'll probably set one crane to stop booming down and straighten the other crane out. Once you have that one hole lined up with one crane, it's easier to adjust with the crane that's a little bit out on the backside. Biggest thing to consider here is that this is gravity. Once this sets down, it will be only gravity. There won't be any bolt up or anything like that. It just sits on the trucks. So as long as they get their kingpin in that hole and it sets down in that little disc, that's pretty much it. Okay, we're going to start straightening it out there now. Looks like we're going to start with the 80 ton. Okay, that 80 ton is doing a little, oh no, the 50 ton's doing a bit of work. He's booming up, holding the load right now. Doing a really nice job making sure that it stays at level height. Okay, we're going to start the creeping down process. Both cranes at the same time, very level. Really in sync there now. So Ty's taking his turn, doing some signaling. They're going to get that dialed in perfect. Both cranes, again, got to be centered perfectly so that way we get it in the holes. Okay, so they're making a plan, making sure everything's going good. Double checking, communicating. That's key. Working as a team. Nothing gets done unless we all communicate together. Finalize the plan and follow through. If you look underneath, we're only inches away from getting to the area that we need. So they're just taking their time, making sure it's done right the first time. No need to rush the process. The idea here now is, because we're so close, we're just going to get one side in to that hole to make sure that we're in that space before we go to the next side. So you'll see one side come down a smidge more than the other. It won't be as level, but as long as we get it in the hole, then we can work on the other end. Like I said, the best part about this is that the students get to be involved. And I can't thank Vertical Crane enough to give this experience to these guys. You're going to see a guy over on the right-hand side as well by the rail, just behind the orange coveralls. He works for Vertical Crane. He's our student right now. So this is awesome that he gets to experience this with his company that he works for. Okay, it looks like we managed to get into the hole. We're pretty close. There you go. We're in that hole, so now we're going to work on this side. So one side of the car is up a little bit higher than the other. So it's pretty important to note that once you start coming down on this side, you are going to bring the other side up a little bit or level it out a little bit. It may come out of the hole depending on how many inches you come down, but if they come down at the same time, this will work out really well. Okay, they're going to guide this in, looking good. Okay, coming down, coming down. Perfect. We're in the area. Looks like we're going to set this down as close as we can get before we start taking the weight off. Yeah, see Matt's just checking to make sure that we're not touching down on anything. Because there is that circle in there. It's kind of a pattern that we got to follow. We got to have that it's got to be centered perfectly. So they're coming down on that back end now. Looks like our students did the math exactly to a T for the plan, which is great to see. There you have it. They're going to start letting off there now. They're in that area. Once you start seeing that rigging slack, that would be the lift. Perfect example of a critical lift. Perfect example of a tandem lift. Okay, just letting them know. We got the approval from Caltrax, making sure that everything is kosher. Now both cranes are going to let off their line and we're going to unhook. Start packing into these cranes, hit the road. This is taxi life in a nutshell. You show up to a job, you get the cranes ready, you do the lift, do the best job you can, pack up and go home safely. What do you think about the program so far?
It's been good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've learned a lot.
You're on your 5th week, almost done?
Yep.
Ready to get back to work?
Yeah, I definitely am.
Yeah.
Ready to make some money.
Because I think this is one of your cranes that you run daily, right?
Yep.
Which one is it?
It's the 80 ton.
It's the 80 ton.
The fire one.
The fire one. So what kind of crane is that?
It's a Tadano
Tadano.
GT 800 XL
Okay.
-2.
And what size crane?
It's an 80 ton.
It's an 80 ton. Are you a little bit jealous? Have a little bit of FOMO going on?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but at least you got to be here for the lift itself.
Yeah, it'd be nice to be in the seat.
Yeah. I'm here with Allison Latimer. What do you think?
It's pretty cool.
Sweet. So you're a student for today, right? So you came in to see what the crane program's about. How much of this did you not know?
Pretty much all of it. Like just coming in and seeing how the crew was able to work together, the planning and the process to get everything set up, and just every part that needs to come together to make sure it's an efficient and uncomplicated lift was very interesting to see. And just getting to watch the process and just take it in of what all goes into big lifts, and especially seeing a tandem lift on my student for a day was pretty spectacular.
You know, that's even crazy that you're even using that lingo already. You were here for
2 days.
2 days. This is your second day. You got maybe 10 hours in. We're using lingos like tandem lift. Now, how crazy is that? You're already part of the crew.
It's pretty crazy, and even just like seeing everyone like come together, all the different like parts, like the trucking, the lifting, even the rail guys, just seeing like all that SAIT does at this campus is very spectacular, and all the parts that work.
So we're going to see you as a student? Is that the plan?
Yeah.
Pretty soon?
Signing up already.
Signing up. So we got you sold. Sweet. What do you think that you want to do? Do you want to do taxi life? Do you want to do crawlers? Do you have an idea?
I'm looking into the taxi life. Like I really enjoyed getting to do a ride in yesterday, and although the crawlers are really cool, actually being able to do lifts and the different aspects of the job and the variety, that seems like right up my alley. Maybe later I'd like to get into the crawlers, but I want the experience. Like, it's really fun seeing it all and doing the lifts.
Right.
That's what I'm here for.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for coming. I'm so happy that you enjoyed it.
Thanks for having me.
See you in May.
What do you find works for successful crane operators?
The biggest thing I think that makes a successful crane operator is always being humble, always being willing to learn, willing to ask questions. The trade is endless. It's always more to learn. There's always more to take in. I'm aging myself, but I can say I'm almost 20 years in the industry. I still learn stuff every day.
Okay, and any advice for someone getting into the industry?
Finding that first job, the first step, is definitely a hard one. Show that you're not afraid to work, show that you're willing to learn, and you'll definitely get an opportunity.
Amazing.
Hi, I'm Justin Kelly. I'm with Ty Petty, one of our students here. He's on his third year, almost a journeyman.
Almost.
Pretty close.
Pretty close.
Almost ready to do your exam.
Like next week.
Next week. So how much of this lift is on your exam?
A lot of it.
Yeah, you're going to be
All
tested
of it.
on this. All
of it. Sling tension, share the load, load dynamics, lift planning, everything.
So we got the chance to lift plan today.
Yep.
This morning we talked about the different scenarios. You came up with one scenario. It was a really good scenario. And we looked at another scenario, and we kind of came together and made this what we got today. We got the chance to put this into effect. We measured this out, right?
We did, yep.
And we set everything up, and Vertical was happy enough to follow exactly what we said.
Exactly.
Give us that learning tool. What do you think?
I think it went great. Some learning, some coaching from Vertical Crane there from Mike, it was. Matt, yep. Things went really, really well. Had to readjust there at the very end to get those pins lined up.
Right.
But our measurements were almost within inches.
Yeah, you measured it yourself, didn't
I did.
you? Yeah, so it was
almost bang on.
Almost bang on.
Yeah.
So there's room for improvement, but I think it went perfect for me. What do you think of the program?
Great. Yeah, came here for first year and for third year. You guys have been awesome. Learned tons being here. Yeah.
That's awesome. So we have a great opportunity. We got Vertical here to show us. We had Energy Crane a couple of weeks ago showing us some stuff.
Learn the new system.
New systems, new Click on 3, and you got the chance to do that. Obviously, that's the type of crane that you normally get to run with your company. So a leadership in our class and showing that stuff around, which I really do appreciate as well, which gives us that opportunity to share that information. Sweet. Well, thanks a lot for coming.
Thank you.
Cheers. Here with Dave, one of the train instructors or rail instructors here at Point Trotter. What's your program about?
Our program is a 12-week program. that helps students learn everything there is to know about Canadian operating rules. Large portion of our course is practical application, and we do everything that we can in our small rail yard to make sure that students get prepared for their career at either a Class 1 or a short line railway.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So, we got a new rail car.
We do.
What do you think?
Awesome. So, rail cars are not all the same, and a tank car is completely something that students have to become more familiar with. There's different inspection points, different ways to entrain, detrain, ride the car. Because they're typically filled with extremely dangerous commodities, it's such a great add to our program that we can give them real life interface with a tank car. So yeah, it's a huge addition to our rail yard, and gives us more locations for the students to apply handbrakes, inspect the brake rigging, so on and so forth. It's just a great addition, something we haven't had ever before.
So this rail car right now is different from what you already have in the yard?
I mean, it's same in running gear, but the way that conductors have to interface with this car is different than regular rail cars. So it definitely enhances our ability to show them that, and for them to learn the different things they need to be aware of on these cars as opposed to our regular cars.
Okay, so you guys are on a pretty big roll right now. So that's 2 donations within the year, right?
Yes.
So what was our first donation?
Our first donation was our Trackmobile from Gordon Russell. This has allowed us movement. A lot of the railways, when they ask us what would be a big add or fix to for our students to come out with, and it was, well, students and people don't understand the gravity and what it takes to move rail cars. So if you guys could get movement so that students could make joints, put cars together, couple the air systems, give us proper communication when doing that task, it would really be helpful. So in the past, before the Trackmobile, we had to mock everything. We had to pretend we were moving the rail cars. Not as strong of an example or of a activity. So this allows us now to get us moving and teach our students. It just gives them a whole better perspective on how important it is to follow their rules because we're moving.
And the safety behind it, and understanding where to put their bodies, understanding how the system works, because these are pretty heavy.
Yes.
And I mean, honestly, if you get caught under these in real life, it's probably going to be a serious injury. So if we're working on this right now, right now, they're going to have success later on.
Exactly.
How did this all start?
Well, we've been asking around for Trackmobile for years. Obviously, they're very expensive units. But we actually, through Trevor Hammer and Caltrax, were put in touch with Gordon Russell and Bill Reber, and he says, I know a unit that's sitting in the weeds up north. That would be perfect.
Wow.
We'd like to help your program. Pull it out of there. They rebuilt the engine. They redid all of the coupling system. It was in pretty rough shape before they got to it, so they spent a ton of their own time and money to help our program.
That's amazing.
And then one day we were having Caltrax do some maintenance on our existing cars, and we just kind of off the cuff said, man, we could sure use a tank car. So then Trevor came out and said, well, we were getting one from Border Chemicals that we're going to scrap. Maybe we can save that car, fix it up for you guys, and get it over to your campus. And again, through pretty much complete donation, Trevor and his team and North Star and Vertical, Sherwin-Williams, everything you see on the car, everyone came together and got this car put together for us, and obviously in position, ready to go. We have finals coming up this week, and the students are going to be able to move and work on a car that they haven't got to the entire semester. So that's a great...
Just before they get their final.
Yeah, it's perfect timing. Because sometimes you get a little complacent when you're working with the same equipment all the time. So it's really awesome. They're like, oh man, something new to look at, something new for them to be familiar with. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. The timing couldn't have been better.
And we got to collaborate again, as Point Trotter seems to be doing all the time, is bringing in everybody for collaboration and make sure that we're sharing that work, experiencing the experiences, make sure we're working together and showing that teamwork and communication. I think that's a win.
I think it is. Yeah,
Sweet.
It's been awesome.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah.